Hey, this is Johnny Jett. Welcome back to my podcast and YouTube channel. Today we have Geoffrey Weill, who is, if you're in travel, you know Geoffrey Weill because he is one of the biggest PR guys around and has a big time firm in New York City, represents, he's represented everybody. I don't even know who you're representing now, but because of you, I've gone to India. I've gone around the world on a Jet Airways trip, gone to Israel, and that's just a few of the places I can even think of. But Geoffrey, welcome to my show. I know you have a brand new book out, and that's what we're going to plug. All aboard.
All abroad.
All of what?
All abroad.
All abroad?
No, all abroad.
All abroad.
No, all abroad.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. No, you said all aboard.
Oh, sorry. Did I say all aboard?
Yeah.
But you know what? I apologize. All
That's
abroad.
Okay.
A memoir. I mean, how many countries you've been to?
106.
106. And
yes.
You grew up in England?
I grew up in England. Came to the States in 1973.
And where do you live now?
I live in New Jersey. My office is in New York.
Okay. And where'd you go to college?
I didn't.
That was
you have to read the book to find out why.
Why is that?
Now you have to read the book.
Okay, that's a good reason. I have not read it. I do have a copy, so thank you, but I have not had time to read it with everything going on in the world right now.
Oh, things are going on in the world?
Yeah, a little something here in the US, but anyway, how are you doing with quarantine? Have you traveled?
I have, because I have had a European passport. I was able to go to Europe in October and in November. And next month I'm going to Morocco.
And how was it when you traveled?
It was very different and yet very much the same. It was, each country was different. Some people were very intent on masks and all of the right things. And other places like Sweden were no masks, no
social
nothing. And it was a bit alarming.
Really?
Yeah.
That is surprising. And how about was the plane packed on the way over? I would think it would be pretty
the planes
empty.
I flew business and I wore goggles, ski goggles, prescription ski goggles, and a serious mask. The planes weren't packed.
No. Well,
although one was.
Although I think the N95s are going to start being a requirement. I just read today that Lufthansa is going to start doing it for February 1st. I think the US is going to start. So actually my travel tip that's going out in like an hour is might be time to start buying your N95 masks.
I just did buy a big box of them because with the new strain, I think the cloth mask that we all like, I don't think
that's what they were saying.
I don't think they do it.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, just when you think everything's getting better, then you read this.
I
know. So you've been to 100 and how many continents you've been to? You've been to 106 countries? You've been to all continents, all 7. Yeah.
Well, not 7, 6. I haven't been to the Antarctic.
Okay, then you will have been to 6. Me too. I have not done that boat crossing, which I don't want over the Drake. How about what's your earliest travel memory? That's in the book. I started reading the book and that's in there.
It was a trip I took with my parents to Europe, to the continent when I was 6 years old. Although even before that, I was staying in hotels with my parents in England. And I make the point in the book that I was in my own private room, maybe on a different floor from my parents. Very weird.
When you were 6?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have 3 kids now, and I can't imagine ever doing such a thing. But in those days, people did.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, times were different. So,
oh yeah.
I mean, speaking of hotels, can I ask you what your favorite hotel in the world is? Or am I get you in trouble with clients?
No, not at all. Well, I have a few. I have Ashford Castle in Ireland. Beautiful. I have La Mamounia in Marrakesh.
Beautiful.
I have the Adlon in Berlin.
Not been there.
And the King David in Jerusalem.
That's
Those are
another beautiful hotel.
my four faves.
Well, those are, I know three of them, and those are right on. How about what's your favorite American city besides New York?
Los Angeles.
I love it. That's where I live. We don't get that too often, so I'm glad to hear that.
I love it.
Good. Why don't you ever move here, by the way?
I don't know, and it's maybe a bit too late for that now. Well, you never know.
Yeah. How about international city?
My favorite is Venice.
Is it?
Absolutely.
All right. How do you feel, by the way, with the cruise ships not going in now? Good thing?
I think it's wonderful. And I was in Venice in October, the first time they used the sea barriers to stop the flooding, and they worked. And the city wasn't flooded for the first time in hundreds of years. It's amazing.
I bet. Which country do you think has the friendliest people in the world?
Oh, that's interesting. I would say maybe Morocco.
Okay, I've actually heard that from one of my other celebs that I interviewed. I thought you were going to say Ireland, because Ireland's one of, I think, has some of the friendliest, and Fiji.
Ireland is up there too.
Fiji and Bali are mine, but yeah, I've heard. I mean, I've been to Morocco, and they are so friendly. I mean, people took me to their house to eat, to meet really their kids. Yeah. Amazing. They really are. How about the opposite? Which country do you think has the meanest immigration officers?
You mean other than the United States? I would say probably Russia.
Okay, I've heard that before too. I've only been once to Russia, and I did not experience that. But anyway, was there any place in the world you have no desire to go to?
That I don't have any desire? Yeah, and Antarctica. I really have no desire to go. It's cold.
Yeah.
Penguins are cute.
I
don't want to do that sea crossing.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I have a little desire just so I can say I've been to all 7 continents. I want to see it. I don't like cold, and I don't like that crossing.
Now that crossing's terrible.
And since you've flown, I don't know how many miles. I mean, do you have any idea how many millions of miles have you flown?
Yeah, exactly. I have a logbook. It's over 4 million, and it's 1 year and 18 days of my life.
Oh my God, that's a lot. Do you have a favorite U.S. and international airport?
Favorite international airport is Amsterdam. I love Schiphol. Favorite U.S. airport?
LaGuardia?
No.
I heard the new LaGuardia is great, by the way.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I haven't seen the new LaGuardia really. I mean, favorite U.S. airport. I don't even have an answer for that.
That's all right. You're not the first. How about since you always seem to fly up front, do you have a favorite airport lounge?
Oh, definitely the Virgin Lounge in London.
Heathrow?
Yeah.
Yep, I gotcha. And how about, do you have a favorite aircraft type?
747.
Okay, that was mine too. But now I'm going towards A350.
Behind us.
Yeah.
It's now, I suppose, the 787, my favorite.
Yeah. All right. How about, have you ever sat next to any celebs? I know you escorted them before. But
right. I did. There's a very famous American violinist called Midori, who I sat next to on a flight from Tel Aviv to New York.
Nice person.
Lovely.
Good.
And I also flew from Vienna to New York with Siegfried and Roy.
Oh.
After his accident, after the attack from the tiger. So he was, I'm not sure who was which, but he was really.
I just saw the second one just died. They both died in the last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one just a few days ago, sadly.
Yeah.
How was it? Was he nice?
Very, very nice. Yeah. People, usually find celebrities when they're in the right place are perfectly nice.
That's good to hear. How about your drink of choice when you're in the air?
Gin and tonic.
How about favorite restaurant in the world?
The Kronenhalle in Zurich.
Craziest thing you've ever eaten?
On a ship in the Mekong, fried crickets.
Okay, that's not crazy. I mean, that's crazy, but I was getting ready for something real crazy. How about favorite? Which credit card do you use when you travel?
American Express. Don't leave home without it.
You never have trouble using it internationally?
No, I also, I mean, you have to use Visa or
Yeah,
MasterCard as well sometimes. But
for sure.
I earn miles well on American Express, so that's the best.
Gotcha. How about favorite island in the world?
Favorite island, I would.
Ireland's one. Did you say Ireland? Because Ireland is an
No, I said island. I would say my favorite island is probably Ireland.
Okay, that makes it easy. How about favorite beach? Are you a beach person?
I am, and the most fabulous beach I've ever been to was in Zanzibar, at the Mnemba Island.
I've never been to Zanzibar.
Absolutely beyond anything you've ever seen.
Wow, that's saying something coming from Geoffrey Weill. So I'm going to check that out.
Yes, you are.
How about your best sightseeing or excursion tour that you've ever done?
Ellis Island in 1976, before it was redone, when it was still a wreck, and it was run by the National Park Service. And it was done in such a way that they led you through it in a way that recreated the panic of the immigrants. It was the most moving experience of my life.
Wow.
They couldn't replicate it because it had to be because if you know it's going to happen, it doesn't work. But the way they did it, it was, I think, just for 1 month during the bicentennial, it was extraordinary.
Oh, I mean, my grandparents went through there, so I just, it makes me emotional just thinking about what they went through.
I'm irritated that I didn't mention it in the book, but in the next book I will.
That's right. It gives you a reason to do another one. All right. Favorite travel movie? Anything?
The Big Bus. One of the worst movies ever.
Okay.
They were all, there was the Poseidon Adventure and the airplane movies.
Yep.
And there was this one called The Big Bus, which was about a nuclear powered bus from New York to Los Angeles. And it is hysterical.
Okay. All right. I got to look that up now.
You have to look that one up.
All right. How about favorite TV travel show?
I don't have one.
Okay.
I hardly ever watch them.
Okay. How about favorite travel book besides your own?
Beside my own. My favorite travel book, I would say, is Paul Theroux's The Kingdom by the Sea.
Okay.
In which he walks the entire coastline of Britain.
And do you read a lot on planes, or do you watch movies or sleep?
No, I read. No, I sleep mostly. But I watch a movie. The movies are usually not very good, and I read a lot on the plane. Yeah.
Okay. I got 3 more questions for you, Geoffrey. You're doing great. I mean, you're perfect. What's your dream destination?
The one, you mean one I haven't been to?
Yep. Or actually, or one that you've been to, but actually prefer one that you haven't been to.
I would love to go to the Seychelles.
I just read about them today, that they're opening up for people who've been vaccinated.
Exactly.
All right. What's the most important thing travel has taught you?
Tolerance, patience, kindness.
You said it right there. Okay. And my last question, what is Geoffrey Weill's best travel tip?
Always adjust your watch when you get on the plane to the destination and think that's the right time.
I do the same, although I'm not wearing watches these days, but I do start even the night before, I'll go to bed early or late, depending on where I go. And then, it always drives me nuts when I get on a plane and they're serving, let's say I get on a plane at 6 p.m. and they serve dinner. They should be serving breakfast if I'm going to Asia.
Exactly.
So that's what I would do if I was running an airline, by the way. Anyway, Geoffrey, thank you so much for taking the time. And where can people get your book?
It's available on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, and at any independent bookstore.
And it just came out, All Abroad.
Right.
All Abroad. All right, Geoffrey, thank you so much. I wish you and the family the best, and I can't wait to see you in person.
I look forward to it too. All the best to you and the family.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.